Welcome to Alice Just Alice 55. You're listening to an AI-narrated audiobook version of my original story, The Unclaimed Werewolf, an Unbound Wolves novel, written by Alice N. Smith. Chapter 35, Where Courtesy Becomes Strategy. The scent resolved quickly once Nora stopped moving. Not one presence, many. Her body shifted subtly from play to readiness, weight redistributing, muscles tightening, ears angling forward. Morsel pressed closer to her flank, hackles lifting, just enough to show uncertainty without fear. 8. She counted them without effort. 8 unfamiliar males, their scents overlapping but disciplined, arranged with the precision of intent rather than coincidence. Behind them stood another presence, human-shaped, calm, entirely too comfortable. Counsel. Nora slowed to a measured walk, paused silent against the forest floor as she moved back toward the clearing. Brooks and Eamon flanked her without discussion, their own postures shifting from play to guard in the same breath. The group waited where her trees thinned, close enough to be deliberate, far enough to pretend respect. The council representative stepped forward. "I see you're recovered enough to shift again," he said mildly, eyes tracking the strength in her limbs, the alertness in her stance. "Good. That simplifies things." Nora did not answer. Her tail rose slightly, her shoulders squared. The man gestured behind him. "There are 8, he said, all eligible, all vetted, alphas with land, authority, and standing." A low rumble vibrated in Nora's chest. "This is your courtesy," the representative continued. "You were injured, unable to receive suitable candidates. We've brought them to you instead." Her lips curled back, just enough to bare teeth. "The cycle ends in 3 days," he added. "Your time to choose has come." The 8 alphas stood silent, watchful, their attention trained on her as if she were something to be evaluated rather than addressed. Brooks' growl cut low through the clearing. Eamon's ears flattened, his stance widening protectively. "No other unvetted werewolves will be permitted entry to your land," the representative went on. "Given your recent injury, this restriction is necessary." Necessary. That word snapped something feral loose. Nora lunged, not at the man, at the line of alphas behind him. She covered ground in a heartbeat, power and fury coiled into motion, but she didn't reach them. Brooks and Eamon slammed into her path at the same instant, bodies braced, shoulders locked, teeth bared, not in threat to her, but in refusal to let her destroy herself. Brooks snarled, sharp and warning. Eamon barked once, hard enough to cut through the clearing. She shoved against them, claws tearing furrows in the earth. They held. Her leg flared with heat, not pain yet, but warning. Eamon pressed closer, blocking her with his shoulder instead of his teeth. His eyes stayed on hers, wide and urgent, and the ache in her leg sharpened as if answering him. Brooks didn't look away from the threat beyond them. Her breath came fast, vision narrowing, instinct screaming for blood. Then Morcel moved. He stepped forward from her flank and planted himself squarely between the 2 larger wolves, directly in her path. His stance was absurdly firm, chest out, tail high, head lifted. He barked, once, clear, commanding, absolute. Nora froze. The sound cut through her fury like cold water. She stared down at him, at the ridiculous, brave creature standing his ground against her as if this were his territory too. Her breath shuddered out of her. She huffed once, sharp and frustrated. Morcel did not move. Slowly, reluctantly, Nora stepped back. The tension bled out of her in a rush that left only fury and humiliation behind. With a sharp turn, she wheeled away from the council, from the alphas, from the expectations pressing in on her from every side, and loped back toward her den without a backward glance. The forest swallowed her. Silence stretched in her wake. The council representative cleared his throat. "She has 3 days," he said. "We'll remain nearby." Brooks snarled, low and dangerous. The man raised a brow. Eamon took a step forward, eyes fixed on the representative. Brooks stayed beside him, still and bristling, and together they made the warning clear enough without words. If any of those alphas crossed into Nora's territory without consent, they would not enjoy the consequences. The man studied them both, then inclined his head slightly. "As you wish," he said. "We'll wait." He turned and gestured for the 8 alphas to follow. They left as they'd arrived, orderly, quiet, confident in the pressure of time. When they were gone, Brooks exhaled slowly and shook his head. Eamon's gaze stayed fixed on the path Nora had taken. Neither of them followed her immediately. They both knew better. The forest felt smaller now, not because of walls, but because of expectation. 3 days. 8 alphas, and a council that believed inevitability was on its side. It wasn't, and all 3 of them knew it, even the one currently pacing in her den, furious enough to shake the ground, and smart enough barely to stop herself from tearing it apart.